But here's the thing, people, it might sound a little odd, but I just want you to be really honest. We're all going to leave this earth. We're all going to transition at some point. Okay? That's just going to happen. When? It doesn't matter. It's going to happen. So you have to cultivate some sense of spiritual fitness, spiritual currency, spiritual certainty. You have to have certainty in something greater, have certainty in your God, certainty in your creator, certainty in the universe that you're protected no matter what. But we're all going to transition. So that's a fact. Also, in life, you're going to have problems. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have changes. You're going to have things that don't make sense. You're not going to understand it. It's part of life. It's part of growth. Spiritual Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Vigor, and we're back again with another episode. And today we get to speak on shadow work and experiencing ego death, spiritual awakening. And I believe in these last few weeks, it has been intense for all of us with the eclipse season. So much has been challenged. A lot of changes are taking place. Maybe some relationships falling off. Maybe you quit your job. You had to reveal something to someone that made you feel uncomfortable. Or you're moving like me. So I want to explain and go over in this discussion, what is shadow work? How do we go through a spiritual awakening when nothing makes sense? We feel out of whack. We feel all over the place. We're overwhelmed and we're so afraid. So take a listen. But before I get into the episode, shouts out to Simplified Impact, who takes all of my podcast episodes, the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and who's best at creating and putting content together for high engagement, for your videos to go viral, and for people to see, for you to have more visibility like myself. So shouts out to Simplify Impact. You should check them out. Go to the show notes and see what it's all about. I'm pretty sure they will help you expand your YouTube, your content, your podcast, and everything that makes you more visible. And last but not least, if you want to do one-on-one coaching with me, sign up, go to my link and click the schedule a discovery call and see if you're in alignment with what I have to offer. But other than that, let's get into this episode. Let's go. All right. Shadow work. You know how they say experience is the best teacher, right? And in 2023, I went through a spiritual awakening. I had an ego death. A lot of my shadow side, the shadow frequency of my being came to the surface, and I couldn't run from it. I couldn't suppress it. I had to work through it, and I had to transmute it into new power, new energy, new me. In 2023, around this time, there was an eclipse, and a lot was happening in my life. I was overwhelmed. I lost a lot of friends. I was in a very heavy and toxic relationship that I didn't know how I was going to end, how I was going to get out of it. And it was a lot of abrupt changes. And I think that's what a lot of us are experiencing right now. And we're feeling off. We're feeling misaligned. We feel overwhelmed and challenged. But I'm here to tell you, you're okay. You're safe, and everything will work out for your highest good. So, number one, what is shadow work? Or what is your shadow frequency? Your shadow frequency is the part of your essence, the part of your soul, the part of your vibration that you hide, you suppress, you don't look at, you avoid because you are afraid of it. So say, for instance, when I was young, I had big pecs, right? I had a big chest. So if we're doing shirt and skins playing basketball, I will find an excuse to put on a shirt, not to take my shirt off because I felt uncomfortable. Same way for people who are very insecure about their body when they go to the gym. We cover up, we avoid people, we avoid things. So that's part of your shadow side. It's the part that you hide from the world. You hide from yourself so you don't have to look at it. But a more deeper thing is shadow frequency within relationships. So say you're in a relationship, you've been with your partner maybe 5 years or 5 years or more, and you love them. Y'all been through a lot together, but now you're at this stage right now in this phase where you're holding on to a lot of resentment, some things you wish you never did, and you never spoke your truth. You never was in authenticity. Maybe you should have never got married to them. Maybe you shouldn't told them to take that job offer, but you wasn't fully in your true authenticity. So by you not walking into your power, speaking your truth, being authentic in a relationship, unconsciously all that energy, that resentment, that anger is coming up and you can't hide it no more. Maybe it comes out in little ways that's not soothing for the relationship. And now we got a crossroads. You have to speak up. You have to make a decision. You have to have the uncomfortable conversation. But what happens is that shadow part of you that didn't express how you felt, that didn't make decisions that your intuition wanted you to make, or didn't speak up on things when you knew better. Now that's the shadow side of you not doing those things. Your shadow side of that is coming up. Or another way you can look at your shadow side is the part of you that you're running from. For me, for instance, I was a people pleaser. The only reason I was a people pleaser because I didn't want people not to like me. I wanted everybody to like me. So I was afraid to be my authentic self because I was afraid I would be abandoned. So in that space, when I didn't honor my shadow frequency, I lived a lie. I wore a mask. I played to the stereotype and persona I wanted people to see me as. I wouldn't grow my beard. I will always smile, be fake positive because I was hiding something from the people that was around me. And in those spaces, they treated me how I showed up. So when I went through my dark night of the soul, I couldn't take any more of the energy on because I was very uncomfortable playing that role, and that role was over with, and it all went bad. And I had some uncomfortable conversations. Abruptly, things came up that people said or did, and I hit rock bottom. I was so overwhelmed. I was so hurt, and I didn't understand, like, but I was afraid. I was in fear. So right now, you might be experiencing a spiritual awakening, and you're probably out of alignment, overwhelmed, frustrated, angry, in fear, scared, overly anxious, depressed, having crazy anxiety, can't sleep at night, or just severely worried. But that's the whole point of the spiritual awakening, because your higher self, your spiritual self, is awakening you to a new reality, is awakening you to a new timeline, is awakening you to a new reality of revelation. So you can have more clarity, more peace, and you can surrender and let go. The challenge is when you're going through the awakening, you're trying to make it make sense. You're trying to justify it. You're trying to find logic to understand what's happening. Why is this happening to me? I don't get it. And it hurts. And you're upset and you're sad. You don't want to talk to anyone. You don't know what to do. Maybe you're about to lose a job, or you're about to quit 10-year career, leave a relationship of 15 years, and you're afraid. When eclipse season is around and when we go through these phases of spiritual awakening, even if it's not eclipse season, is it means that there's things in your life that don't fit the person you're moving into, right? So the old self, the old paradigm, the old thoughts, the old habits have to die off. And sometimes if we're not aware and we're not mindful of these things, the universe will bring things into our reality to shift it. And it'd be really harsh, really abrupt, really challenging, and you'll be just your back against the wall in fear. So, two things. You can choose to grow and be mindful and have intentions about the things that are coming, or you can be in fear and pain is going to come regardless. So, I'd rather you grow than to endure pain, because on a growth space phase, you're going to have growing pains. It's part of life. The thing I want you to understand is that you must take a pause. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. You got to get still and you got to be present. You got to be in your body. But if you're always in your mind trying to justify or figure it out, it's not going to work. Things have to leave your life. You have to release things. You have to forgive yourself and forgive others to get to the next phase. So in my reality of 2023, my dark night of soul was intense. It was overwhelming, as I said again, and I was in fear. I didn't know what to do. I got to a point where I got really sick. I was bedridden for 5 days. and all I could do was just train my clients online and go to sleep. But in that process, what I did that helped me in this phase was I surrendered. I got tired of fighting resistance. I got tired of trying to figure out what to do, what videos to watch, what books to read. What I was just like, I just need to let go. And I said, all right, God, you got it. Like, I don't care no more. I don't care. Whatever happens, like, I'm okay. And I got to that point where I said, I'm okay if I have to start from fresh, I have to start from scratch, I have to start over. I'm okay with that. And I fully accept that radical acceptance, but I don't want to fight. And I don't know what happened in that instance, but a few moments after that, I just felt this energy leave my body. And what I'm saying that you might be experiencing right now is that it's not that the thing you fear the most is actually going to happen. It's the energy of the thing happening that's taking over your essence, that's taking over your body, your presence, your mind, your thoughts, everything. It's the energy of fear. It's not the actual thing that you're afraid that's going to happen. It's the energy of that. So when you can remove that energy, that thing dissipates. It's not even real. It's just a story to keep you safe, to protect yourself. That's what the ego does. But when you just surrender and you allow and you trust the unfolding of life, that's when your spiritual really awakens and you accept everything that comes with it and you're willing to step into this new phase with grace and ease and you have compassion for yourself. So what's happening in your spiritual awakening and the shadow part of life is that you're going to a new level. And to go and enter a new level, you have to let go of some things that don't serve you. So if you are constantly lying about something that's not true, you're going to get caught in a lie. If you're constantly taking shortcuts, you're going to get cut off. Like you're not going to be able to get away with things or patterns or behaviors or habits that don't serve your highest good because the universe is going to bring everything to the surface and you got to look at it, or the people you're dealing with got to look at it with you and you got to be embarrassed or you got to feel shame or guilt because you've been running from this part of yourself because you're afraid to be judged and you're afraid that people are going to see the real you, which I did. I was afraid to say, damn, I don't have the answers. I don't have it figured out. I don't have no real foundation. I'm lost. I'm stuck. I'm scared. I was afraid to acknowledge that because of my perception around it, how people are going to look at me, judgment. It's all a story. It's not real, but we make it real because we believe it so much and we live in that frequency. And all we're going to do is attract things on that frequency. So right now, all I want you to think about is pausing in this moment and take some time to reflect and say, ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Like if it was me, I'll say, Eric, what are you afraid of right now? And be honest. And when you allow that answer to come up, say, okay, I'm afraid. And for me at the time, I was afraid that I was going to lose everything. I didn't have enough money. I didn't know how I was going to make money. I had all these bills. I was just stuck. I was really stuck and lost. And then I talked to someone and they said, well, God forbid this happens, but if you lose everything, lose your car, lose your place you live, you lose all your money, what's the worst can happen? Right? And it was like, well, maybe you just got to come back home. I was like, okay, yeah. He said, it's all right. It's okay. It's part of life. And this is my cousin. He's like, you think you're going to get where you want to go and not have a story? You think you're going to get to the next level of life and not have a story? It doesn't work like that. You're not just going to climb mountains and get to the other side of yourself and not go through it. No. Pain equals gain. And when you can transmute the pain into power, you have true enlightenment, you have true wisdom. So, shadow work, doing the shadow work, wakes up the light in you so you can activate the wisdom that wants to come through you for your purpose, for certainty, for clarity, so you can have fulfillment in your life. But here's the thing, people, it might sound a little odd, but I just want you to be really honest. We're all going to leave this earth. We're all going to transition at some point. Okay? That's just going to happen. When, it doesn't matter. It's going to happen. So you have to cultivate some sense of spiritual fitness, spiritual currency, spiritual certainty. You have to have certainty in something greater, have certainty in your God, certainty in your creator, certainty in the universe that you're protected no matter what. But we're all going to transition. So that's a fact. Also, in life, you're going to have problems. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have changes. You're going to have things that don't make sense. You're not going to understand it. It's part of life. It's part of growth. The light and the sun is not out all day. Eventually the dark comes. So just know the laws of polarity. If you got a lot of bad going on this end, just know there's a lot of good on the opposite end. You don't just stay bad forever. So just know, have grace. Give yourself some space to allow yourself to be human, feel your feelings, honor your emotions, and let them come through you. Journal it, work it out, run it out. But we can't stay the same forever. Things change, time change, people change. You must change. So if you're going through a spiritual awakening right now, my intentions for you is to get clear on one, what are you afraid to let go? And a lot of it has to do with your identity, because I was having an identity crisis, right? What are you afraid to let go? Two, what are you afraid for people to see? Because it's something you don't want people to see, or you don't want to see, right? And three, stop taking yourself so seriously. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. And I know it might say, yeah, well, this, that. I get it. And some of you might be dealing with someone who's recently passed away, or someone who is going to pass away, and you're mourning their death, or you're in a grief space. I understand that. I'm holding space for you to get where you need to be and be however you need to be. But I don't want you to stay stuck in something because you're choosing it unconsciously because it feels good, or you justify it to keep you pigeonholed so you don't grow and get to the next level. Because if you don't change and don't get out of this phase, it's going to keep happening. You're going to attract the pattern somewhere else until you learn a lesson. So all what I'm saying is that you're having a spiritual awakening. You must do the shadow work so you can have the breakthrough, because you might be having a breakdown, so you can feel better and you can have more clarity on where you need to go in life. And guess what? You might not have no clue. You might not know what to do. You might just need to be still and trust the unfolding of life. I like to call that life intelligence. Have life intelligence. Trust life. Trust in something greater. They say everything is greater later. But right now, you need to be present. You need to allow whatever you're growing through to get you through to the other side so you can have that wisdom and be enlightened for someone else. Just like I went through this in 2023. It was scary. I had alopecia. I couldn't grow a beard. I was really unhappy. I was sad. I was in tears. I was heartbroken. But guess what? No one cares. It's over with. But I got through it because I was willing to show up and do what I needed to do. I did a cacao ceremony in Joshua Tree. Shouts out to Sid. I then went to Peru for 11 days on a spiritual retreat. I did 2 journeys of St. Pedro, Wachuma, plant medicine. They cleared my frequency, opened up my heart. Boom. I met someone and fell in love. So that's the opposite side of the dark side that you're in. Once you allow yourself to grow through it and move through it with faith and certainty, and just know you're going to be okay. When this is all over, you're going to be okay. Right now, it sucks. The only way we make this thing worse if we keep fighting it, keep trying to fix it and control it. Let it go. Whatever needs to leave your life, allow it to leave. Release it with ease. Don't hold on. It might be your kids going to college. It might be a divorce. You've been a husband or a wife for all these years, and then an identity is shattered. Your kids don't need you as much. Your husband doesn't need you as much. So it's like, what are you going to do? Or your job is you the CEO and your job is letting you go. But in these tough seasons, in these dark seasons, you find your miracle when you let go, you allow, you trust the unfolding, and you say to yourself, I'm going to be all right. Everything's going to work out for my highest good. I'm well, I'm safe, I'm loved. And if you don't feel that, you need to affirm that to yourself, because no one else can support you or love you if you're not doing it for yourself. So take advantage of this episode, of this information to know you're going to be okay. You're going through a rough time and you're releasing old patterns and old ways because there's a new world, a new life, a new you that's forming and you're extending. And extension and growth is not always comfortable. I'm about to move. I'm excited, but I'm also afraid. Not afraid. And we're like, oh, I'm just like, oh my God. So it's like getting on a new ride. You're like, oh, how high does it go? Wow. I'm more saying I'm having anxiousness around my new environment. Like I'm moving to Orange County. So my life is about to change because I'm in a new frequency around me people. It's kind of bittersweet. But I know in order to get to the next level of my life, I can't stay in LA or I can't stay in the same space that I'm living in. My soul is ready to move. My soul is wants more and ready for more. So I have to grow. I have to make sound decisions and commit to something to make me greater. And sometimes commitment is uncomfortable and sometimes commitment it doesn't always feel safe. So I'm gonna leave you with these few things. It's very cliche, but it's so simple. So if you're going through a spiritual awakening right now, the best way to release a lot of the pain or the shadow parts of yourself is to acknowledge the things you're afraid of. Like I said again, 2, what are you afraid for people to see or yourself to see? And 3, you got to get in your body. Movement is medicine. Motion changes emotions. You need to work out. You need to go to the gym. You need to walk at least 3 to 4 times a week, 30 minutes. Move your body. 4, I need you to journal whatever you're feeling, good or bad. Journal it, journal it, journal it, right? 5, get into some type of breath work or meditation. And the reason I said these 2 is because they're going to allow you to be more calm or more anchored and more grounded in your body where you don't feel so much anxiety or worry within your frequency and allow you to get out of your mind more. So even if it's 5 minutes of meditation, 5 minutes of breath work, it's going to help. And last but not least, you got to forgive. You got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive those who might have come against you. You got to forgive everything. Honopono. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. You say your name. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. That's if you want to forgive yourself. If you want to forgive somebody else, a partner, a business partner, a friend, a family, you say their name. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I promise you, you will feel lighter. You will feel better. But don't try to fight resistance. Don't resist it either. Be one with it and allow it to take you to the next level. Because here's the thing. The reason we're afraid of the shadow side, the dark side, is we can't see it. There's no visible proof that we're going to be okay. So we use fear to control what's going to happen. But fear is the ego justifying what could possibly happen because that's all you can see. You can't see what you can't see. So therefore, you don't have no vision of that. But I encourage you to envision a greater future, a greater day, a greater moment. Get some sun. Go in nature. Water the trees. Usually, if we're having a depressed moment or we're in a depressed state, it's because the ego is taking over. I can't do this. I don't have that. I. So when you're in that space, go and be part of the we and serve, help someone. Even though like, how do I help this one? I can't help myself. But you got to get out of that energy. If you're always feeling depressed and down, it's because you're in your ego. Get out of that and go help someone, serve. That's why giving is the best living. The more we give, the better we live. It's that simple. The more we give, the better we live. So if you're feeling down and you're feeling out because you have more to give that you're holding on to, but you don't think so because you're controlling it from what you can see or what you think is true. But with that being said, work on the shadow side of yourself and your spiritual awakening. Just know you're going to be okay. That's light at the end of the tunnel and things are going to work out in your favor, even if you lose people, things, or items that you thought was yours forever. Trust me, you're going to be okay. You got to detach. You got to relax. You got to let go. You got to trust and have some faith. Pray as much as you can. Meditate, work out, journal, and get real and raw on what are you afraid of? What are you afraid for the world to see? And what are you afraid to see? And the most humbling thing you can be in this moment is be embarrassed. Because the moment you allow that energy of embarrassment to come through, if that's where you're at, the more power you're going to have. I'll leave you with this. Think about somebody who done something and then they got publicly acknowledged about it and they accepted and they agreed that that was them. You don't look at them, but if they fight it, they look crazy. So own your truths, own your patterns, own your behavior. Don't waste more time and waste energy because you don't have to. But have a great day, a great evening, great night, wherever you are. Share this episode. Go to YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me at Eric Bigger, and come into my world and let me amplify your energy, shift your vibration, raise your frequency for your highest good so you can live the life of your dreams. But you have to do the work. All right. That's all. That's it. Be great. Peace and love.